What the fuck is up, bitches? It's Chris with another edit note in the beginning. So this is a two-part episode. So next week is going to be the conclusion of the conversation we had with the two guests that we had on this episode. We had Malia Sias as a guest, who is a comedian in New York City, but also has a long history in streetwear design, which I did not know. We actually both worked at Echo at separate times. But then she also brought her boy Chappy, who worked at the original Supreme store and was approached by James Jabbia himself to help open the store. So this episode's kind of crazy. Appreciate y'all listening. It means a lot. You guys keep coming back. So just know that this is part one. The latter of this conversation is really good. So I think you guys are going to come back, listen to this one, and then anticipate the next one. Appreciate y'all. So we're going to begin the podcast now.
All right.
Everybody sound good?
I think so. How do I sound?
You sound nice.
Yeah, you do.
Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate you.
Okay. No time today, so when do you want me to give you a time at? Like 30 minutes? An hour?
Yeah, let's do like 30 and then 40 if that's cool, or 30 or 45.
Yeah. Are we running long today, though?
Yeah, I think we're going to try. Because since you're gone, well, I'll just split this like I did the Dame episode where it's just two parts.
Okay.
Also, now we have a common denominator with Echo, so I'm going to try to drag out other stories and shit.
Okay.
And then Choppy can contribute, you know what I mean? Choppy out here.
Choppy has stories.
What?
He a OG. I didn't even know. Do you recognize him from somewhere?
I swear to God, I do. I just don't know where, though.
And then the only thing is, if you're going to be like setting your phone down or like your drinks down a lot, just use one of those rubber coasters and you won't hear it. Otherwise, you can just like hear this
Copy
recording.
that. I got mine in my pocket now. Is that cool?
You have your own coaster?
You got your own
Coaster
coaster.
bucket with charges.
I was even shocked. I was like, damn, that's a new... It's a Supreme coaster that just came out.
Actually, all right, so if you guys want, what I do is like, so I have like a little docket, but if you guys want to take a picture of it, and then...
It's just some of the topics we go over.
Yeah, I sent you a list, but it expanded a little bit.
Okay.
So yeah, so you can take a picture with your phone, you can look at it.
I'll just jot off her list. I mean, she's the... I guess.
The Kanye notes aren't really that important because it's
She's the guest.
because we're just gonna.
You have such nice handwriting.
Oh, thank you. The top right is the most important part, and then we got emailed a question about brands that people should know because I talk about Aleph a lot, and apparently like these kids listening didn't even know who Aleph was.
He's a writer.
I used to be.
Yeah. You can tell by a person's handwriting.
Here,
Yeah.
you want to take a picture?
No, you got it. Cool beans.
All right.
I'm going to freestyle it.
Okay. You want to bring us in?
Yeah. Okay. Episode 12.
So bad.
I don't listen, man. I'm not doing no fancy bells and whistles intros. Remember to be Happy Studios, Sup Podcast, episode number 12. Chris Cheney,
What up?
Lawrence DeLoach. Michael's not here this week, but we got some special guests.
Special guest in the building.
You said that, Matt. Like,
Matt Envy.
yeah. I'm not that like high key yet. Like, give me like minute number 25. I'll be good.
Okay.
All right. So we got some special guests, right?
Who I didn't know I have like a weird connection with Echo.
Yeah.
But we have
7 degrees of separation.
Yeah, it's
big
crazy.
time.
But Malia Sias, is that how you say it?
Malia Sias.
Malia
Sorry.
Sias.
Common mistake.
Okay, and then we also got Choppy in the building.
Chappy.
You look familiar. I didn't know I had so much in common with you. Lawrence recognized Choppy. This is crazy. I feel like we're friends that like
We're
hadn't met
family.
yet.
Yeah. Straight up. Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Fashion
All right, so
family.
if you don't mind, because when we have designers
Wait a
on,
second. Hold on, Chris. Come on, man. You can't listen, man. We got Beck Blizz on
Oh,
the bill.
I'm so sorry, Becky.
Come on, man.
I got
Fuck,
Well,
man.
you fucked up because you said
I
intro
didn't-
the guests and then
No, well, I said we intro the guests, but at the end of the day, we still gonna intro Becky. Come on, man.
Hi,
Sorry,
guys.
Becky.
I'm sorry, Becky.
You
I
guys
didn't
are
mean
like
that.
an old married couple. It's
I know we
adorable.
are. Then we got to plug. Remember to be Happy Studios. That's the name of this joint we are at.
We plugged that up top. You wasn't paying attention.
Okay, the black cat is Lex. I want you guys to meet.
What's up, Lex?
What's up, Lex?
What's up, Lex?
She's chilling. Louis around here too somewhere. There's
Sexy
another cat.
Lex.
Yeah.
What's up, Lex?
But yeah, so you're a comedian, which is why we originally got you on. But in the midst of you being a comedian, I didn't know you worked at Echo. But so can you give the listeners maybe like a little background of where you've worked?
Okay, I'm a fashion designer as well. That's my
Yep.
day job. I started with Echo. That was like my first big fashion job. I worked for Zoo York while I was there. I worked for G Unit while I was there. Averex. They had a whole bunch of brands. And that was like in the heyday of urban hip hop. So it was amazing. And then the economy crashed, and then I just kind of got into the skate world. Like I did Crew Denim over in California. I did Split. I don't know if you remember Split for a little bit. And then I got really into sustainable fashion because I know there's like a hippie that lives inside me. So I like moved back to New York to do this sustainable startup.
Okay.
And it just never started up. They were like, I mean, we had the best of intentions. It was really exciting. It felt like my opus, but then I had to actually start paying bills. So then I went to Vilberquin. It's like this luxury brand, and I felt really excited because I got out of like urban and skate. You know, I wanted to do something like high end, and it was terrible, you guys. Like it was like people are. I dreamt about streetwear the entire time I was there. Like one time, one of the designers was like he was like, yeah, I want to do like this track jacket that's kind of like shiny. And I was like, what, like an Adidas tracksuit, like a Trico tracksuit? He's like, no, it was like from, Gucci Runway 2015. And I look at it and I'm like, it's a Adidas tracksuit. You know what I mean? Our points of reference were always just from different places. And I would I don't know, like working in streetwear, I felt like, there's like everyone, I don't know about if you feel like this, but all the designers are like, even this podcast is like that. Like they're students of their craft. Like if you have to do a chenille varsity patch, like you're gonna spend 8 hours looking at like every varsity jacket from like Japan, from the US, from like you're gonna,
sure.
And then just to get one font or one technique or something. So I don't know. I'm back in streetwear again now, and it's
welcome
like,
back, baby.
I know,
this is the best.
It feels good. Yeah, I missed it. So.
That's great.
Yeah, so I do have I'm like the girlfriend of a sneakerhead. Like I have limited understanding of sneakers and stuff. Like I might know more than you think I know.
Okay.
That's good.
I was telling
you're undercover.
Yeah, I feel like I personally like brought like sneakers to the city in the 90s because like when I would travel for work to like Hong Kong, I get lists from people. They'd be like, if you see this, cop this, cop this. I'd come back with all these like special colors and shit.
That's great.
Before the internet.
Yeah.
Made it not as special.
You were like the early form of a plug.
Yeah,
you
I was like
definitely
a
the plug.
mule. I was like a shoe mule.
It's shoe mule.
Hell yeah. That's what's up. Well, we're very happy to have you.
Thanks.
And it's just crazy that it was just by coincidence that we're so on the same page, which is great.
Yeah, I've been excited. Like, I kind of Mike had told me that you worked at A-Life, and I was like, fuck, I got to talk with you one day because I knew that we just knew similar people.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah, it's a small world.
All right, but Chappy, you're not off the hook. You got to give us your legacy too.
Yeah, talk about yourself, man.
Chappy, Supreme, Union. I started out with Joe Diesel at Union over on Broadway and Spring Street, East Broadway and Spring.
What year was that?
And that's, I would say 98, 28 years old, man. And I was working around a corner for this T-shirt store called Green Life. And they were selling these T-shirts with...
Becky with the assist on the mic.
Fruit, vegetables, and all this kind of exotic shit on T-shirts. And I would go around the corner to Union, Marianne Fusco. Shout out to Marianne and Joe. I would go there every day and hang out. And they offered me a job, and it started from there, man, and changed my life.
That was your first?
That was my first, like, dope gig.
Okay.
Like, work job gig, like, retail, pretty much. I was skateboarder from the Bronx. Didn't know nobody from the hood. Like, I'm from the Bronx, Westchester Avenue, Prospect.
Okay.
And went down there and got hooked up, and life changed.
Word, that's what's up, man. Where you at now?
Right now, I'm back in the Bronx.
Okay.
I love the Bronx. Can't get away.
Word.
When did you start at Supreme? Weren't you like when they first opened?
Supreme, yeah. I go there, but yeah.
Oh no, let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna go there.
No,
bro.
we can go
I
there.
know the story is to be so, but anywho, yeah.
And we can get the.
I was at Union for a minute, and for about 2 years, and James Jebbia, who runs Stussy Union at the time, he came to me with an idea about running a skateboard shop because at the time we had Skate NYC. We had Skate NYC, which anode over on 6th Avenue or 7th Avenue, if I'm correct. We had Benji's down in the projects. And that was it. And he was like, what's up with a shop? And I was like, dude, like, let's do it.
Mm-hmm. James himself went to you.
Yeah. Seriously, James, I pretty much, James was like a bro. It was like my mentor. And he at the time, me and Marianne had Union.
Yeah.
And he also ran Stussy skateboard shop and something different, something clean, something totally new. And
So when he came to you,
concept.
what was your thoughts? And when it first opened, and when you first saw, like,
it was a lot of work, man. It was a big process. Trying to get the major companies, trying to find the companies that want to fuck with a new shop,
of course,
in New York City, and to our luck, everything worked out right, man.
Of course. I mean, you see what it is now. I mean, they're even expanding. They're trying to open up a shop. I heard in San Francisco, but like they did a Brooklyn shop, and you know, obviously you got Lafayette.
Blessing to those guys.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so you see how the growth in 24 years,
right?
So I mean, it's insane, but how it starts as a baby and then it just grows into this.
Well, I mean, it started off. I mean, when we did Supreme, it was just like pretty much a give back store to the hood, to the scene.
Okay,
and well, that's what we was all about. Pretty much, just getting. It wasn't about the name. It was just giving back.
Of course, yeah.
So you 24 years is what you said. We started a conversation on the last episode, like towards the end, so we didn't really get to have a conversation. But I wanted to kind of figure out who had the best run and the biggest impact, separately, other than Supreme, I think, because I think that's pretty obvious as far as impact. Mm-hmm. But so stuff like your Rockaware, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Rockaware has been around forever.
What's their 20-year anniversary?
20 years.
Echo. 99.
Echo's technically 23, 4.
Yeah.
You have to say New York as well. New York has been out there for years.
Well, where they were, and then Shut, you got Shut
and Shut.
too.
Well, it started off as Shut, then like Shut branched off to New York. I mean, the same guys that were doing Shut did New York. So I mean, that company itself, I don't know if it was. I don't want to say it was an umbrella, but those guys were involved with it as well. So I mean, that company's been around forever.
So for this is just for the for the room. So if anyone has like opinion they want to stab at it, like who do you think has the biggest run out of all these brands? I guess relevancy not really technically needs to be involved. I guess that's more impact.
Stussie's been around since the 80s, right?
Yeah, Stussie's crazy.
And they're still relevant.
Stussy as well. Yep.
I mean, they have highs and lows, but they're always there.
Stussie's always been the forefront of everything out here.
Even like Fucked. I mean, like they're.
Wow.
I don't know. Like they're not as like prevalent anymore, but when they put out shit, it's still like pretty. Like they did a T-shirt run a couple years ago that was pretty edgy. Like I don't know. I still like some of their graphic stories. I think they're influential.
What about Fubu? What do you guys?
Fubu. I mean, that's always been around. That was like Hood Finest.
Hood's Finest, right? Yeah.
Hood's Finest.
Hood's Finest.
They just did a collab with Puma too.
They did. Funny you say that because I was out in Detroit like 2-3 years ago, and like Fubu like was banging in Detroit. Like
what?
Yeah, it was like the shit.
Yeah, I think in New York. I mean,
and don't get me wrong. I don't want to say Detroit cursed me out. Like, oh, that's not what. But I mean, when I was out there, like I saw Fubu everywhere, and I was like, they were banging.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, Dapper Dan is like number one. You know what I mean? He's finally getting more credit, but he's just been like.
Yeah, he's come up a lot on this podcast.
Well, think about it.
He's
like he was the forefront of doing luxury brand collabs. Like, you know what I mean? He did it on his own. Like, he wasn't like legitimately with them, but like, it's just now that like Virgil is teaming up with them. But it was like he did it in the beginning for the for the very first time.
Facts.
So he was like a pioneer, I think.
Let's come back to this. I want to, you want to kind of get into like how we
how we usually start.
Yeah, how we usually start. Let's come back to this.
Okay, he wants to talk about Kanye.
I mean, I don't want to talk about Kanye, but who doesn't at this point?
Becky's laughing because we always.
She wants to scoop the poop.
It's all every episode of this podcast. It's either Virgil or Kanye that we start off with, just because of the shit that's going on with both of them.
I like Kanye, man, and what Kanye's doing, he's doing himself. Kanye. Kanye has always been Kanye. Either you like him or you hate him, And right now, honestly, I'm just. I still like him, man. I love him, man.
Okay.
I had a thought today. I don't know if you guys are going to be on board with this, but do you think secretly it's bugging him like that Kendrick Lamar like got like all this like he's like
for the Pulitzer and shit?
But also like he's like the new revolutionary, like he's taking stuff in a new direction, and Kanye was always kind of like selling himself as that. And I thought about it, I'm like, the timing's kind of the same, like and he's writing like a philosophy book or something.
Yeah, he is.
So I was like, is he like secretly upset that like Kendrick Lamar is like kicking his butt? It's a little theory of mine.
You know what's crazy? Because
and he has a shoe. Kendrick has a shoe coming out soon too, right? Isn't he doing like a Cortez?
He's doing another one. Yeah.
And
he's
so
on the shoe,
I hadn't thought about that.
So you know what? Because I was reading about him winning the Pulitzer, and so this is a sentence that they used to describe why he won. This is a sentence by them, the Poltergeist. They put this out. It's the craziest sentence I've ever read in my entire life. Ready? Are you ready for this? Okay. It's a virtuistic song collection unified by its vernacular authenticity in rhythmic dynamism, dynamism that offers affecting vignettes capturing the complexity of modern African American life. That is the least hip hop sentence I have ever heard in my entire life.
And I feel like someone just wrote like he's really talented in African music and then used a thesaurus to like pump it up.
Yeah, it's just that he raps mad ill. That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
and they
basically.
it's like when you like when your boy gives you his homework and then you got to like just change all the words and shit.
Right.
I was reading this, so I was like, well, how can that? I don't understand.
You went
But
to
yeah.
Stanford on your ass, right? This
hilarious.
is like, let me just
that's
break this shit
ridiculous.
down. Yeah.
It's
But
like
yeah,
a
no,
run-on
that's
sentence.
yeah, but that's a good point. I haven't thought about that.
It's a secret theory. I just thought of it today. I'm not basing a lot of stuff on it, but
Okay.
I think he definitely feels like he's falling behind a little bit. Like even with the interview with Charlamagne, where he kind of touched on like how he's like Khaled's got shit popping, Kendrick, Drake. All
Did you guys get a chance to watch the interview with Charlamagne?
I haven't
Yes.
seen that.
I
yet.
saw
That's okay.
some.
Yeah.
I saw some of it.
It's okay. I watched it
was-
twice. I'm
Yeah,
you
I
watched.
need to.
That's like a fucking 2-hour interview. You watched?
Hey man, 8-hour day. You just listen to it like it's a podcast.
Let me tell
know?
you this: like I listened to his first song that he put on with the Poopity Scoop, and nothing's made me happier in my life. Like when I heard that, I was like, he's a genius. Like he's
It's
doing
the verse of the year.
Yeah, like I sing that song to my dog. Like I feel like they stole the lyrics from me, but whatever. We'll talk about that later. But then I was telling everyone I was so excited, and then he posted that second song that was like pro-Trump, and it hurt me so bad that I was like, it really. Like I couldn't listen to it. I was like kind of grossed out by it, and then
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
did you listen to the second song?
Yeah, I listened to the second
Yeah.
one.
I don't know. I just was like, it bummed me out because I liked the first one. So I was on a different path. Like
Well-
I was like, oh my God, he's like using comedy and he's a genius. And he's like, that's so unlike him to kind of make fun like that. I'm like, oh, he's like, this is great. And then I
Yeah.
heard the Trump stuff and I'm like, oh, he's just crazy or he's lost
Yeah.
it. So I haven't watched the TMZ thing yet because I feel sad. Like I feel
Yeah.
like he's train wrecking and I don't want to watch
I haven't
him
watched
do
it
that.
as well. I was kind of scared to watch.
Well,
it.
yeah, that-
I don't want to like. I don't want to not like him anymore. Just not watching that. So
Well, you see the interview. In TMZ comes in there and he starts talking about slavery, and he's like, slavery 400 years, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like a choice, and then he starts going on this rant
How
about.
do you feel
But dude,
about
then
that
you got
statement?
Will I Am coming out the woodworks and like making comments and making like what like. And I understand he. Yeah.
This is one thing I will say about
It's a
Kanye.
lost cause.
I will give him this.
Yes.
He knows how to use his marketing tools as well as he possibly can.
Yeah.
And his marketing is Twitter. And he has almost 30 million followers. His last album with The Life of Pablo, that's when he started talking about, him being in debt. And
Sorry.
It's all good.
it's all good. And he starts talking about him being in debt and, all this other shit. And he goes on these rants. And then people, this one, I wouldn't, I was still going to rants. I wouldn't have went on the pro-Trump rants because, this is like when you start getting into something as hotly debated as, people genuinely hate this man and you cause such a divide. Like if you're on a rant talking about, Jay didn't give me no money or like, I'm broke and like I invested in people is like, okay, this is a train wreck, but I still love Kanye. But when you start going into like a political like type rant, people don't want to, like people kind of don't want to hear politics. And when you're pro something that so many people hate.
Well, it's interesting, and I'm going to sound hypocritical because I didn't like the song, but it's like Eminem can come out with that song where he talks shit on Trump, and we're all like, yeah, and then Kanye comes out with this, and I was like, I can't stand to hear it because I don't know, it just like
He shouldn't have done it with T.I. He should have done it with M.
exactly.
Wow.
That would have been crazy.
I think
That would have been crazy.
did y'all see? Speaking
Good
of,
battle. That'd have been good battle.
that'd have been a great battle. Picking
Yeah,
up-
see, that would have been interesting actually. That would have been interesting.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, it's caused such a firestorm in hip hop. Like you saw Daz Dillinger or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow, that was serious.
Like that's the thing about Kanye that I'll give him, that he can.
Wait, what did
create-
Daz do for the listeners who don't know?
Okay, so for the listeners who do not know, Daz posted a video and he basically told all of his Crip friends, all his Crip buddies, if they happen to see Kanye, to fuck him up on site, quote unquote.
Which is so wild.
That is
That is
wild.
First off, I haven't heard Daz's name in
Dude, but, like,
forever.
to regulate something like that,
This had
is
to
like
bring him out of hiding.
serious.
The thing about this
Which
is,
is, can I say one thing
Sure.
too? Oh, he was a Crip. Because I was going to say the MAGA hat is red, so it's even like against Bloods. Like maybe he just doesn't like the color of the hat. You know what I mean? I mean, he's not true to his
Nah,
gang.
but it's
that's
different.
Daz is got to be 50 years old. He shouldn't be involving himself in this shit. I think that when you start threatening people's lives on camera, I think it creates now police are watching, and all this other
And like
shit.
you said, at over 40, dude, you should not be doing.
You shouldn't be gangbanging
Right.
You
like that.
should not go there.
It makes it like what Tekashi's doing.
Oh, due
like,
respect.
how can you get mad at Tekashi when like Daz is doing this like the real shit?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, people could
Takashi's
act
8
on
years
that.
old though. Takashi's 8 years old, bro. Like Daz is like 75. Like it's a totally different.
Well, they say
old.
you become young again when you get old.
When you get old?
it kind of makes sense.
All right. All right.
That's his fountain of youth, huh?
All right, so you guys didn't watch the interview, so I think what I'm going to try to do is we'll try to propose the topics that are related to the sneaker shit, and then we can just see if we can flush out the conversation there. One thing that he said that was very interesting is he talked about Nike and his relationship with them, and something that we've said on the podcast before on previous episodes is that they didn't give him any freedom to do anything. Mm-hmm. He wasn't able to build. Mm-hmm. So that's
He
why.
couldn't do clothes or anything like that.
Yes. What's super interesting is then he commented on like Virgil doing the Nike stuff, Don C still being over there, and basically he admitted like, yo, since I'm me and Yeezy, right? You remember this part?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's like, being Yeezy, like if anything I do, you're not going to really necessarily grow a brand yourself. Like you need to distance yourself far away from me. Like you got families and you want to build your own shit, so you got to get your own bread. But he was basically like, no, but we all know it's Donda. Like the whole thing is Donda. You know what I mean? So how do you guys feel about because you and I work for somebody. Wait, we're designers, we have our own brand, but yet we're still making someone else a bunch of money.
Right.
So how do you feel about that statement? Like, oh, if you want to build yourself, you need to get away from the empire and do your own thing.
I mean, it goes either way, I guess.
Okay.
Like Donda's the thing he named after his mom, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's sort of like
it's
his
a marketing
design team.
company.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in theory it's good. I think for him, like, what is Donda? Like, if you look at Donda's like resume, it's just all his own videos and stuff like that. Like, he's not really this mastermind own thing that he's doing. He's just hiring himself instead of hiring someone else to do it, which is good because you control everything. So I mean, I think there's benefits to that. He hasn't proven that he can do it really for other people yet. Like, that's a whole nother thing. Like being able to adjust your vision and like do it for a different artist, right? I mean, I guess he's done a couple of things, but I don't know. I don't know if I have like too much of an opinion on that, but
It made me realize I need to quit my job.
I think about that every day.
Yeah.
But I've tried to go into business for myself, and it's not, the grass isn't greener on the other side.
No,
'Cause
I
you-
tried
It's
to
hard.
2 summers ago.
hard.
Actually, no. When I got laid off from Echo because they tanked, I was like, oh, I'll just freelance. There's a bunch of people that like hit me up all the time. Yeah, I'm a great employee. I'm a horrible businessman.
Exactly. That's what I learned too. Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah, I'm the exact same way.
Yeah.
I like getting that same check every single week.
Oh, it's so good. I get it every Friday right now.
Yeah.
It's so fucking tight.
good.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't gotta do the bi-weekly or my monthly shit or what. Oh god, it's great. But yeah, I need to. I don't know. It made me feel away.
Yeah.
Kanye's been good at making me get in my feelings.
I think it's all promotional and everything's going on with his new album coming out. Like, he's just trying to get some buzz. He's been away. He's been going through so much
Having
chaos.
babies.
Having
Yeah.
babies. Got liposuction. He said he got lipo. Like,
You got
That's
lipo.
crazy.
lipo, like who the fuck
Because
say
of
shit
TMZ.
like that?
He was in the room going, it was y'all who made me get
Yeah,
liposuction.
because they
Ooh.
made Rob
What?
cry and leave
Yeah.
at their wedding.
I thought
was
dude was
like,
gonna smack him upside the head.
I mean, can't he just do sit-ups?
Yeah, I mean, you have enough
what I
money
do.
and time to get a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Real.
He's got a dad bod to go with those dad sneakers.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hate dad sneakers.
Yeah, what's your take on him?
I hate them. Like, I don't like him when my dad wears them, and he's
All
dead.
right, now, when you say dad shoe, do you have a model specifically in your head that you're referring to?
All of them.
All of them.
I mean, like,
What's the poster child for you for dad
the
sneakers?
Balenciaga one, obviously,
Yeah, okay.
is
That's
the creme de la creme. Yeah, I just just in general, I don't want to be a hater, but I think that like the direction of some fashion, it's a little lazy, and it's like I come from a background of fashion or design where you like really like craft something and build it, and like I just, even when it comes to like some of the off-white stuff, it's just like a spray paint stencil. Like it's hard for me to like jump totally on board. I like it in its lane or whatever, but like when I see the Balenciaga thing, it's like it's just a morph of all these shoes, and I think it's ugly. You know what I mean? Like
I agree with you.
Yeah.
So like I don't know.
So we've even gone to now where Nike is releasing it's an upgraded Air Monarch. I believe it's the M2K.
Yeah. Oh, and your boy, your favorite guy,
John Elliott, is I guess it's his design, or it's his
color,
collaboration, and they're releasing this weekend, and they're pretty much upgraded Monarch. I think they're ugly. They're releasing for women this week. Women's sneakers are having a big week. With the Monarchs, and then the Air Jordan 1 satin
the
sneaker
shattered
for women.
backboards?
Shattered backboards.
I want those so bad. I will wear a women's 10.5.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Like, is it whack for a guy to buy or support a woman's sneaker?
No.
No.
You know what? I'll say this. They only
rock
Is the edge like to rock it, like to be rock, like to rock the sneaker, like honestly, like.
You
For a
don't
guy like, okay, I heard Venus Williams will be coming out with a sneaker, and I heard it's gonna be looking dope. I mean, her sneaker's gonna look really nice. But for a guy from the hood, like, if I was a good, you know what I mean? Like, is that cool?
well, okay.
For a sneakerhead.
And I'll say this. A lot of like sometimes when the women used to have like the player edition, so it'd be like the Maya Moores or like a lot of like the Cheryl Swoops or whatever. They would only go. Obviously, they only go up to a women's 12, which is a men's 10.5. A lot of guys that I know, because they were like women's exclusives, would kind of go for it. I once again, I can't get those satin shattered backboards because I'm a size 12 in men, so they would have to get a 13.5, and they don't have that. I have the original shattered backboards, so it's kind of like fuck. Like I like them, but like I don't know. I'm not a.
I'll put it this way: I would wear the shit out of those shattered backboard satin
What?
joints.
Satins.
What?
Yeah.
Yo, they are pretty as fuck.
Yeah, they are.
Killer shit.
They are so pretty. I'll show you. Yeah.
I feel like when I was at Crew, we did Supra as well, and they would do like the women's like line as well. They were launching it, and it was like the first time I came to realization. Like I feel like when they do women's shoes, they're like, let's make it pink or satiny or
Of course.
sequins,
Of
and
course.
it's
Make it
like
pretty.
I never wear
Yeah.
any of that shit.
Of course.
Oh, see, these are nice. This is a good way
Those
to
are
like, because it's an accent.
fire.
Yeah, those are
That's
flames.
Beautiful. I
Those
want
are
those.
fire.
Those are beautiful.
I'm not even a one guy, but yo,
Yeah, they're
That's beautiful.
Those are fire.
they did those really well. And
But I think they did those with the fact that they wanted to be unisex as well.
Yeah,
you know
they,
what I mean?
they
of course.
pieced them
They
in
had to.
an androgynous way. And that's the thing. I like that they're doing it that way, because a lot of times, I don't know if you feel like this, but like, it doesn't have to have flowers on it and be super girly.
No.
Like sometimes I have the opposite problem as you guys. I go to buy the shoes and they don't have a men's size small for me. I go to like Kids Foot Locker sometimes.
Pause. I can't front. I bought maybe one or two women sneakers that were
Yeah.
like dope.
Yeah.
That like you're like people were like, what is those? Like, I got them overseas.
listen, I know a lot of men who have no problems wearing if it's a woman exclusive pair of sneakers.
Right.
Dude, if they can fit them
Yeah.
and they're hot,
Yeah, man.
listen,
man.
because women want men's sneakers, and
Yeah.
so it's like women wear off-white ones and Vapor Maxes, so it's like dudes see something in this. If it's hot, listen, I ain't even mad.
I think shoes become more like unisex, especially
sneakers.
Yeah,
Sneakers.
yeah.
Sneakers, yeah,
Yeah,
Sneakers
but
are-
I think that genre allows for that, you know.
they made those. They said they almost made those pink Monarch 2s exclusively for women, but then they made men's sizes.
I thought I only saw women's sizes.
But the men's size was exclusive, right? Like they only made like a certain amount of.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
made a limited run, but
Yeah.
they made them, which is smart. But all right, so back to Kanye for a
I was
second.
gonna,
everything just goes back.
It all comes back to, because we were talking about the dad sneakers, and you know, and I agree that a lot of those sneakers aren't cool, like the Yeezy 700s and the Yeezy 500s, or I think
They look sloppy to me, man. All the respect. All the respect. They look really sloppy.
Yeah, me too.
For a jogging sneaker, for a sneaker that's supposed to be present, for the show, like what he's about, that's sloppy.
He got called out today. And Chris, I see that you wrote this too.
Yeah.
He got called out by Givenchy for what?
It's Givenchy.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I guess the design inspiration that he was posting on Twitter was directly from Givenchy. I didn't actually read the article though, so I don't want to, did you read it?
No,
I just saw the headline. I was like, oh, we got to talk about that. Hopefully Lawrence read it.
Yeah, he was. They said that he was taking designs, like a design model, and taking out the year. So like he basically stole their design model and then posted it for himself.
What?
Yeah,
That's terrible.
And so there, you know, so now it's there's the thing. It's called Kanye out for any, you know, for all his outlandish statements, fashion wise, and he's even, you know, he's aware of it, that people don't like him for all the arrogant shit he's done in the fashion world. People just want to see Kanye fail.
Well, unfortunately, it's his arrogance that's got him to the things that we love about him.
course.
So it's like you gotta, in order to have.
When
that,
I saw the headline and it was accusing him and he tweeted it, in my mind I was like, oh, someone probably just gave this to him and said they did it.
Right.
And
Yeah,
then
that's
so
what
I
I
don't
thought
think he
too.
knows.
I don't think so either.
I feel bad for Ye, man. He getting shit on a lot when he's just trying to figure out his life, you know? I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was trying to, because to most of my friends that aren't in the streetwear or music or whatever, I'm like the guy for every topic. And they were like, all right, you're going to have to explain Kanye. And I'm like, I can't. It's literally impossible.
You can't explain.
But what I will tell you is that, like, all right, he had a mental breakdown and then disappeared for a year and a half.
Right.
Like, he wasn't around when Trump actually started getting some steam. So it's not fair for you to associate him directly. I understand, like, looking at it, yeah, it's pretty bad. And the slavery thing, he can't do anything. I got nothing on that.
He's just late to the party, basically. Like
Yeah.
he's just showing up now. He's like,
Yeah, kind of like what he did with the Confederate flag. In his mind, I think he was just going like, "Oh, I'll take that and I'll make it my shit," and
Right.
it'll like, you know. And then he got the whole love, whatever, like all that other, you know.
yeah.
He just saw it and was like, "Oh, I'll just run with this," and then like he's making up new excuses why he can wear it every time someone tries to explain shit to him. But it's so hard. I don't know how the slavery thing is.
directions to the White House. That's what it was.
The slavery thing is really bad.
Like, you got to go to the bag on me. We know you, but we don't know you.
Yeah, I mean, I think the slavery thing has gotten people talking a lot because it's insulting.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
Yes,
like,
it is.
you know, it's hitting. It's not an opinion. It's not a political opinion. It's not a music choice. Like he's kind of insulting.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, come on, man. You come out and support Trump. You insult people. You know who's, you know, slavery is, you know, one of the worst things in the history. And you say, you know, it was a choice. You know, I just, like I said, it's all, a lot of it, you know, it's him wanting to be in the limelight, but you know, there's certain things you just don't joke about, or you don't.
Well, I think it's the equivalent of like when you have a job and you walk by someone who's spare changing and you're like, get a job. I have a job. But
Yeah.
and you just think it's a choice, but it's not. And like he obviously has so much success or money or fame or whatever. He's not grounded in reality anymore.
Of course.
You know?
He's in the Ye bubble.
Yeah, totally.
He's in the
Or
K
the
bubble. No, he's in the K
KK
bubble.
bubble.
Yeah, he's in the KK bubble. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, that's what it is.
KK bubble butt.
They got him. They got him trapped. That bubble right there. He's trying to pop them.
I don't want to say that the Kardashians ruin every man that they meet, but it's literally
Oh, dude, it's
every
not.
single man
It's not.
that comes into that
They know what
household.
they're doing.
They're like
they
the,
know what
like,
they're doing over there.
They're like the Armenian characters from an Anne Rice novel, like the witch. I guess you guys are an Anne Rice readers.
They know exactly.
It's very
what they're doing
topical,
over
I know.
there.
All right, do you have anything else on Kanye?
I mean,
We could literally talk about this for like 4
come
hours.
on.
but-
It's like every fucking episode of the podcast, there's some new shit that comes out. I mean, it's just.
Well, did you hear about his doctor finally? The doctor that
Oh, he
did the
wanted it to be the
surgery on
album
his
cover.
mom. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so he finally spoke out. Did you hear about this?
Yes,
I
yes.
did.
Yeah, and he's like, listen, it wasn't because of me. It was because of the home care, and it's been proven. But I haven't said anything because I have
Which the
class.
home care was his nephew.
or his cousin or something, like a
Family.
relative.
It was family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you hear that, and you're like, he's been like making this man's life, he's spread rumors about him and stuff, and this guy was just like, whatever, I'll bite my lip.
Send him a cease and desist, yo.
Yeah.
Yo, he talks a lot about his family, and I don't know how many like relatives he actually has, but every time he says like cousin or some shit, I think it's the same one that stole his laptop. I feel like this is one cousin that's just ruining Kanye's life because he hasn't specified. Like, all right, you killed his mom, you stole his laptop,
You licking my beats? Like, come on, every time I hear around, somebody else got my song.
But no, so we have pickups that I think we need to address because you were able to get a restock of what?
The Sean Witherspoons
Yes.
Air Max 97/1.
How did you get those?
I had a Nordstrom just opened up last month, and I knew someone that worked there, and they kind of told me about it, gave me a little heads up that they were looking out, and I ended up getting a pair for retail.
Nice.
I like those. Those are, I mean, they're interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, those ones.
Those are cute.
She Googled them. She's checking them out.
They're interesting.
Yeah, Becky's happy.
What were you gonna say?
The soul's sick.
Oh, just everybody who posts them up. I'm
Is
so
that the
jealous.
soul?
Yeah, that's the soul. Yeah, those
That's
are,
nice.
They're pretty.
thank you. So I got those, and
That's a true collector right there, man. I can't do it anymore, man. That's just it's too much. To
My
keep up
apartment's
with,
too
man.
small.
Seriously, I can't even do it anymore.
I got half of my shit at my mom's house.
Oh my God, I have my mom's garage is full of
I got a
like
couple.
everything I
They
own.
got a storage full of sneakers. Like it's just like I can't do it anymore. Like I can't. Like
I think you get to
done.
you get to a point where you're like, all right, I can keep. I try to trim my shit down. Because it's like you're not gonna keep up. You can't keep up. It's too expensive. It's too stupid. And
wear everything every day. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Do you wear all your sneakers, or you
wear.
have some you don't wear?
I have sneakers I don't wear, but sometimes I have sneakers that I don't wear. That in the event that I'm like, all right, I want to sell these and just get rid of them.
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
So you the shit that you love, you're like, and you know that you wear it immediately. You're like, I love this shit. Shit that you're iffy on, you're like, I'm gonna hold these for a little bit, and then get these off. And
But then you end up holding them just for a little bit too long.
oh, sometimes yeah, that's
I know.
happened.
I know.
Yeah,
that's
no,
happened.
It happens a lot.
Where you hold shit for too long, and then it either the resell is lower than what you wanted, or you end up it's just the sneakers.
Sneakerhead.
Yeah,
This is sneakerhead for you.
there you go.
And literally on the way here,
Okay.
as everyone in the room knows, I got the Tinker Hatfield 3s, which I originally did not like.
They're beautiful.
I don't know what happened. Remember I was shitting on Becky so hard when they first came. I was like, who the fuck's gonna buy these? Who wants to swoosh on a 3?
Well, you know who bought them?
They look hot.
You did.
I did. Well,
you make me want to go buy a pair.
Ching.
last episode I did double back, so I can't. I relinquished my view on them, but I did also state on this podcast many times I would never buy a shoe for retail, and I just did. So I'm full of shit, guys. I have no problem
It's all
mentioning
right.
that.
Sometimes you're just feeling it.
You know
Maybe
what?
Jazz does that to someone.
Yeah, I know. So what we do talk about a lot is like the last thing we bought. Do you guys have a purchase that you just made? Maybe it doesn't have to be sneakers, but clothing, anything that you guys maybe were like, oh shit, I'm happy that I bought this.
Well, for me, it's not really going to be interesting to you guys, but like there's this denim brand called Judy Rosen. It's like she's a
Well, now put the lady listeners on.
lady listeners.
Yeah.
Judy Rosen makes the best jeans. Do you know Judy Rosen's? Okay, she has a store. She used to own a store called The Good, the Bad, the Ugly over on Broome, I think it was, or what does Delancey turn into? Kenmar? It was like on Kenmar. It was the sixth store back in like the 90s. They make your butt look like a peach. No matter who you are, what your butt looks like, it looks like a peach. And they're high rise, and I feel like her pocketing is like at an angle, so it kind of like holds your stomach in, so you don't have like a bomb belly, no matter what. So she opened up
Becky.
a store in Greenpoint, and I copped a pair of pants for my birthday.
Nice.
They're a little more expensive, but
See, this is the other thing that because you're our first lady guest. We didn't even
Oh,
say that.
wow.
Yes, you're the first
my
woman
God.
perspective. Yeah, Becky's just been alone this whole time. But see, what you can do is also put the guys on to know what to get the girls for the
Yes.
birthday presents. Like Mother's Day's coming up. Maybe don't buy mom those jeans.
yeah, they're not mom jeans.
I wouldn't want to see my mom's in them jeans. I've seen them jeans.
They're good jeans.
Ooh,
They're
boy.
really good jeans.
I would not want to see my mom in them jeans.
Your mom
you're
would
"Ma,
look so
what
fly.
the- Ma, put a t-shirt. Wear a long t-shirt, please. Extra large.
That's what's up. Hell
And
yeah.
she just got. I was gonna buy more last weekend, and she was because I wore the ones I have so much that my inner thighs rubbed raw, like on the pants they have holes in them. So I had to go get new ones.
Crotch rips.
Yeah, but I mean, like I wear them every day. Like I love them so much. And she was out, but she just got a new supply in this week. So
Nice.
If anyone wants to check them out, they're amazing.
I have that scene. You guys, all right? So we can talk about this because I posted this yesterday on Facebook. I'm a black denim guy over blue blue
Me
denim.
too.
Because I feel like with black you can wear it all the time. You can wear it
Pretty much every day.
Every day if you
Everybody
want.
know.
Yeah.
And some people were like, nah, I'm a blue guy. Chris, what'd you say? You said,
I was like, how are you excluding beige completely?
nah, son, black or blue. Oh, those are nice.
Oh, damn.
yeah.
Who's-
Okay.
You can go through her Instagram. I showed them like a juicy
had to
butt
look right
picture.
there.
He grabbed the phone out of my hand, you
You had to take a
guys.
double look like, word?
Word.
Like,
It was confusing because like the zipper is like down the ass
well,
crack.
I don't know
Dude,
those
it's true.
ones,
Those
but that's
jeans
what they
look
make your
hot
butt
on
look like.
women.
Like guys are gonna want to buy them for their
that's gonna be
girlfriends so
on-
their butts look good. That's how amazing they are.
I'm saying they look hot. They are hot.
I've seen you in these.
Thank you.
They are hot.
They're the best.
Okay.
I just wanted to give you a visual since you guys showed me your shoes.
I already saw.
Okay. Okay. All right.
But you were saying that you have one pair of jeans that you wear all the time, and I'm the same way. I have a pair of.
Well, I buy two. Like I have two black ones.
Okay.
And I rotate them out if
Of course.
Yeah, so I can wash them once in a while. But I'll wear them into the ground.
That's how I am too. I got a pair of jeans. I got a pair of John Elliott jeans that I wear, and I mean the most comfortable jeans I've ever purchased in my life.
And you find a good fit that works for you. You
There
like
you
the
go.
fabric, and you just stick with it. Yeah, I don't even mess with other brands. I've been wearing this one brand. I'll try sometimes. Like I'll get something else, and then I don't know.
I went through that phase. I was a 3x1 guy, and then I like a lot of this shit was like it either like ripped or like it wasn't like as sturdy as I thought it was for the price, and I was like, nah, I'm good. So then I started messing with John Elliott denim, and it's been really solid. So
Nice.
you have a favorite brand, Beck?
I like Lucky brand.
Lucky? Okay.
Yeah, I've been wearing a pair out, but I think I prefer blue jeans because I'm super cash.
Super Cash? Okay.
Well, it depends on the person. Like sometimes I like a raw blue denim on someone. You know, like it just depends on what their kit's like. You know, like I personally like black, but I like blue on some people.
Raw denim all day, every day.
Yeah, raw denim is fire.
Really?
Yeah, I have a pair of rugby jeans. Actually, I bought 3 pair, the same jeans. Actually, 3 pair of the same jeans, and I caught them when they were on sale, like $3.50 each, and then I wear them every day.
Yeah.
I can't get rid of them. Actually,
He's a low life.
I got one pair like the crotch is all ripped out, and I wear them every day still. People are like, "What the fuck, you trash?"
Yeah, he's been. The police have been called on him a couple times.
Yeah.
Why don't you bring him to a tailor?
You ever want to get them patched up?
I want to, but I like the raw shit. But I will eventually. I will. And yeah, Malia.
Oh wait, Becky. Side note: did you find a tailor for your stuff?
No, I think I'm gonna do it myself.
Really?
Yeah, I don't trust anyone. People always hem my jeans too short.
Okay.
Oh, so you want to get your jeans hem? So my
Yeah.
friend was just telling me about a place in Greenpoint. I think I can find the info. And what the woman does, she does a Japanese hem. She cuts you know how the bottom's folded over, and when you put a wash on it, it gets destructed and it has like highs and lows. She cuts it right above the stitch line and then hems your pant and sews the hem back on it, and you can't see it because the hem's in the stitch line, so it looks legit. It's not like a weird rolled back thing. I'll get you the info if you want.
All right, yeah, female listeners, this is your podcast. We're gonna do all the shit out here for you. All the
Yeah, we're
tips
gonna
and
throw
tricks.
your cycle off with this
Yeah.
podcast.
Yep. But wait, no, you really don't wear beige denim?
No, I'm not a beige guy.
Beige
How do
denim?
we feel about?
beige.
Yeah, I got actually
khaki, that
Like chino?
like khaki. Yeah, no, it's denim though. I've cut and sew, Mark Echo cut and sew.
It's like
once.
raw. It looks
Yeah,
raw.
yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah.
never had
It's just like the
beige
warp
denim
and the weft. They
in
do
my
like
life.
a white and a
Yeah.
khaki or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Strictly khaki or denim.
I was
I
gonna
think it's
say,
nice.
denim.
I mean, like when I
I don't think I
design,
ever did a colored denim. Besides dark raw
I've
or
seen
black.
cool colored denim. I like when they're like I've picked fabrics where it looks like like a mock twist, like salt and pepper denim. Like I've picked stuff
Yeah.
And it looks cool, but then at the end of the day, when you wear stuff, I think at the end of the day, people
back
stick
in
with the
days,
basics.
You had
you
Lee
know?
jeans. Lee jeans had like the colors.
Oh, Lee used to be
Lee,
fire.
okay.
Yeah, Lee's were fire.
They still have Lee jeans.
Yeah, but now there's like a Kohl's brand. You know what I mean?
Is it?
Yeah, I mean that's what I think about when I think of Lee is Kohl's.
Oh, okay. I remember the Lee jeans back in the days.
Yeah, Lee jeans was great.
Wranglers.
Yeah. Shout, get your leash, get your Lee patch.
So you
snatched off the back of your jeans.
So you said Lee. Hold up, Lawrence. Give me a second while I pull this.
Yeah,
email,
yeah, no
'cause we
problem.
have an email question from our homie Zach.
Oh,
He's emailed us a couple times.
okay.
He's the #1 subhead.
Nice.
Hold up a second. I gotta pull
Does he get a prize or something? Just a shout out.
No, Zach. We gotta give Zach something.
Yeah, we gotta give
We
Zach.
give him a shirt. Wait, how the fuck? Wait, Lawrence, cover
Chris
me
is
while I pull
learning
this
how
Yeah,
to
out.
so-
work his phone.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so Zach. Okay, here we go. Zach.
All right, yeah, here we go. Okay. So he goes, hey guys, what are some lesser known streetwear brands out of NYC or anywhere else that I and other listeners should be familiar with? I only got into streetwear 2 years ago, and I'd never heard of A-Life before this podcast, and I'm really fucking with most of the stuff they're putting out. Also, can I buy one of the podcast tees? Keep up the good shit, Zach.
Aw.
Yes. So Zach's the man. Zach's the fucking man. So what's interesting to me is that like, so even if you're new and you're in 2 years, it's crazy to me that you've never heard of A-Life. But I guess that because I'm very biased.
A-Life is like, I've heard of it because I'm from I'm a New
From New
Yorker.
York?
Yeah.
But it's like I could.
exactly.
They're so low key. I mean, they got the Rivington. Like I don't know how to explain it, but not everyone knows them. It's very New York centric, I think.
Yeah.
And very like streetwear.
I
Like,
tried to remove myself from my bias, and I made a list. But do you guys have any brands that maybe you would like to shout out that people maybe not know about that listen to this?
I have one. Do you know Scott Tepper?
That sounds familiar.
So he has this brand. He was in New York, but he's in LA now. It's called Ignored Prayers. It's sick. It's
Okay.
like the perfect mix. He's like a graffiti, like it's a mix of graffiti, like kind of hood vibe, but humor, and it's dark and it's sexy. I don't know how to explain it. It's like super hot. Is there like are we being arrested?
We're
no.
in Brooklyn. It's not a game.
Yeah, the sirens are a crucial point of the podcast. For some reason, every time we
I
record
was
this
like,
podcast,
is
there's a
Becky adding
crime.
sirens? But yeah,
it's
check it
still
out. He
perfect,
has like an
actually.
Instagram page. It's sick. You guys
Okay.
will love it. Like
Word.
I'm telling you right now, it's
What
my
about you,
favorite.
Chap? You have a brand maybe that you would think that people would know about that they should?
To be honest, right now we have wow, there's so many that I really can't think about right now. But to come across one,
Well, here, let me throw out some of the ones that I think that people maybe should know that they don't, and then we can kind of go from there. If I miss anything, wait, or Lawrence, do you have something?
One of my favorite streetwear. It's like a surf company. It's Saturdays.
Oh yeah, Saturdays
yeah.
is great.
Love Saturdays.
Saturdays is
I
great.
have one, Lavish Trends from the Bronx, Rogers Place on Southern Boulevard.
BX
Lavish
represent.
Trends, BX. They've been doing big things. You see them in a lot of the YouTube movies, like the hood movies.
Okay.
A lot of the rappers are coming up with that. It's Lavish Trends. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
it's family.
One that because I have like old ones that I think maybe that people don't know about and like new ones. So have you guys ever heard of Kid Super before? Mm-hmm. It's right on Broadway in Williamsburg.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Kid Super. Yes, I
Yeah,
do recall
they've
that
actually
about
had
that.
comedy shows in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Didn't you do one?
I don't remember. Maybe.
Okay. Maybe not. Okay. Ethic Clothing. Have you guys heard of Ethic? They're on Orchard.
I don't know if I heard of that.
Okay. Yeah, I part owned it for like 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, but then it didn't work out because then I did the spray ground shit. Homies Wonderland. You ever heard of them? Mm-mm. They are on Essex Delancey area. I think it's by the East Broadway F stop. You know what I'm talking about? It's by Old Man Hustle. Yeah, Homies Wonderland. That's a great brand. But then there was older ones. Like I'm not sure if people do people know about Sir?
Well, there's a Sir store in LA. Like they have a weird presence. They're like fucked. Like they've been around forever,
Yeah.
but they never like got as big as like. They're not like blown out huge, but they still exist. I think there's still like a true like there's a true fan base. Like people find out about them and they.
What do you think about Sir? Do you have any thoughts?
No. No.
Okay.
Well, I think there's the art element that isn't there like more of like a art draw to it.
It's so Russ did the ape head thing too,
Yeah, I always think of the ape head when I think of that.
Yeah, and it's weird because that's like Bape's thing, and I don't. But I feel like everyone should know Sir. Sir's a great brand.
I feel like Sir's been around longer, almost as long as Stussy, right? Haven't they been around since like?
I know they're
early
older.
90s?
I think it's an older brand, but I'm not sure how long exactly. But then brands like, wait, do you know Kareem Blair? He was at Echo for a while, but he's Lamar and Dolly. Okay, I think Lamar and Dolly is a brand. Do you have any opinions about Lamar and Dolly?
No.
Okay. This segment is going
Whatever
great.
happened? Is the New York thing still doing stuff? Anything? I love them.
A New York thing? Yeah, they're around.
I know. I want to give a shout out to my girl Claw Money. She has a store on Delancey.
Oh, yeah,
It's
Claw. Yeah, yeah.
Company, and
Okay.
like she has a kids line. She does awesome. Again, this is the women's podcast, but
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
she's like the best, one of the most amazing female graffiti artists. She's been in the game. since
Denny's cool there too. Mike Denny. You know him? He's a comic.
I don't know if I don't know. Maybe it sounds familiar. I can't.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, her stuff's awesome. It's playful, and she does like this claw thing. It's,
Chap just came back from the bathroom. We're still doing brands that we're trying to shout out.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
now everyone at home knows Chappie went to the bathroom,
Yeah.
and they can time it
yeah,
and see how long he was gone.
Facts.
Did he go number one or number two? We don't know.
There's a weird sort of Asian like streetwear like video game brand I want to shout out. It's called Kaneda. So I just want to shout him out because I think he kind of stopped making stuff, but the stuff he made was fire. Like he did the normal like logo flips where instead of saying Supreme, it said Shoryuken in the bar. Yeah, but he's got Marvel vs. Capcom shit. He's got Street Fighter shit, but it's a really good brand. So I just want to make sure I shout that dude out because that was some
That's
good
cool.
shit.
Let's shout out.
I also got to shout out Business as Usual because Frank the Butcher is like my big bro. You know, I don't think his brand's getting enough love.
Frank the Butcher, where's he from?
He's from Worcester, Boston.
Oh, okay.
He did the Kennedys, the Concepts New Balance Kennedy colorway. Well, he gets like the credit for that. He's kind of like the grandfather. I don't know who on the team really touched that, but Frank's sort of the guy that.
Copy.
Yeah.
That's the skate. That's the New Balance skate shit, right?
The 999s.
Yeah.
That was like a runner that they kind of.
Okay.
You all right, Lawrence?
Yeah, I'm good. I had a chair, I almost died.
Did you ever mess with any of this New Balance skateboard wear, or like skateboard sneakers? Did you try any of this
the numeric? Is that what it was called?
stuff? If I'm correct, I would say so. Yes.
Yeah. No, I never really. After I stopped skating, I just went like strictly bulky basketball shoe.
Copy.
Yeah.
High tops all the way.
Yeah. I mean, I'll throw some SBs on. I got some Ryu SBs at the crib, but it's
Yeah.
like not. Usually, I gotta throw.
So you're talking about like Reebok Punk, like old school.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I got a pair. I got a pair. I got to keep a pair of those in the just for those days I got to get in a court. You know.
I think I talked about it on the podcast one time before, but I used to work at Reebok, and I'm lucky enough to have been a sample size, so I have an exorbitant amount of pumps.
Oh, you're the
But you only have the right foot.
Actually, I have weird mismatches where it's like I don't know why I have this shoe, and there's like a hole in the whatever. But yeah, I have an original pair of Reebok pumps from '89.
What?
No,
That's amazing.
The tennis with the tennis ball.
The OG one, like the big one with the release in the
Okay, I know
back.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
My favorites was the tennis Reeboks.
The Court Victories.
The Court Victories.
Yeah, the Michael
I had like
Changs.
5 pairs of them shits, man. I swear to you, I had 5 pairs. With the neon green tennis ball on the front.
Yeah. What?
Fuck out of here. I had all them shits. Like,
I had. It started raining. I almost threw them on.
And when they remade them, I went back and found color pairs, and I definitely got them. That's my favorite sneaker ever.
Today at work, I wore the A-Life ball outs, the all tennis ball one.
Oh, those are amazing.
Okay.
You gotta
Those are
be-
crazy.
That's a throwback right there. You gotta be confident in wearing them things.
Oh yeah, they command respect, as do I.
Does Velcro stick to them? I feel like Velcro would stick to them.
That's unclear, but I'm going to steer very far away from Velcro now that you've brought that point up. Wait, you were going to say something?
Oh no, I was gonna say I had a pair of tennis ball Nike. I think it was like Zoom Fly Hyper Dunk some shit back in the days.
Like jogging kind of.
No, they were basketball sneakers. I forgot what the name, but they were tennis ball, and the amount of shit that they picked up.
Yeah, it just feels like it would. It has those.
Yeah,
little
Lenny
hairs.
sneakers, right? Yeah, lint ball sneakers.
Yep.
Right?
There you go.
Wait, Becky, do you have a brand that you like that maybe you want to shout out while we're doing this?
No, I'm not that cool.
Okay, that's fine.
Nah, Becky, you mad cool. Don't ever say you're not cool. You
She's
the
like
coolest
Havana
one.
flip flops.
Becky's actually the coolest one in the room. She just plays it so low key.
You
Go
are.
thrift shopping, you'll find treasures.
Skirt. What up, motherfuckers? So this is part 2 of episode 12 featuring Malia Sias and Chappy. This is the conclusion of the last episode, episode 12, part 1. This is really fucking good, guys. Just make sure you go listen to the other one so you know what the fuck is up. First half of this conversation. And yeah, let's just get right into it, I guess.
I mean, so you remember how earlier up top we were talking about, like, you know, designing and, you know, we were talking about their history. I want to know more, man.
Okay.
I want to know more. I want to ask you guys questions. I want to learn more. Tell me more. I mean, I know you were saying you worked at Supreme and you started out and you worked at many stores, and then you were saying you worked at Echo, and like, just tell us more. I mean, people want to know some of the stories, some of the great things that you experienced working there.
Oh, at Echo?
Just in general, yeah, some fashion.
Well, all right. So I've told a story about the owner. And I'm going to leave his name out of it so you can allegedly just say whatever the fuck actually happened.
Okay.
So if you have a good story.
If you have anything funny.
Yeah. That allegedly might have happened, possibly, maybe.
Not to put you guys on the spot because we don't want to do that.
I don't know. I mean, I have better stories than what.
Oh.
Well, nothing too scandalous, but like one story I like to tell is we did a 7th on 6 runway show, like way back in the day when Echo was like on top of the, you know, like doing shit like that, and
like they still had the Times Square space.
Yeah, well,
okay.
it was like when people did runway shows and stuff like that.
Oh, wait, just to give a little background on that, there was so way back in the day, the peak of Echo, Mark and this other guy, he was like, they bought, no, they didn't buy, they started renting a space in Times Square for a big Echo store, but they never actually did anything with it. It was vacant for most. He would take meetings there,
so what I
to use the space.
All the stories, but they had like a vision. They were going to have all, to my understanding, they were going to have all their different collections in one mega store because they were a conglomerate. They owned Zoo York and Echo and G Unit and Averex and like all these all these different brands.
Yeah,
and they wanted to have them in one place. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the story goes that they secured the lease, but it was a historical site and they couldn't do construction on it. It was something to that extent, and they were stuck in this lease, and it was like burning money or whatever. So it wasn't like that they just like irresponsibly were like, well, we'll do it next week. I think that like there was like true reasons that were stopping.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think Mark also left that little note out of his book too, because I read it.
Yeah, I might be wrong, but that's how I remember the story.
No, but that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. But what I was going to say is we did the 7th on 6 show, and they wanted to play a movie before the show. It was called The Pod, and it was these red plexiglass squares that were on the runway, and all the models would kind of walk up and through them. It was like part of the runway. And they did a Spike Lee joint before the movie to talk about where the idea of the pod came from. And so Spike Lee came to the offices, and we were all in this movie, like we were like all of the employees were proposing different bad ideas to Mark, like you should do this, you know, and you should like this guy Rafi, like he was like in his office and they show him from the back and he was like, we're all excited, it's like running of the bulls and there's all the employees are like all the models are running, and then you pan back and we're all naked, and then they pan back and they show his butt and he's like in the office naked. So it was like scenes like that.
Okay.
And so I got to be in a Spike Lee joint, and then they played it at 7th on 6 like fashion show. So that was like a really exciting moment, and you know, working there. It's not like a juicy story, but it's like
that's great.
Something that you can look back on.
That's a great story. You should use that as a credit.
I know, right? I should add it to my IMDb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was fun to be part of it. The company when it was in its heyday, like when Urban, like you were talking about FUBU and stuff like that. Like I respect all of those brands. And have you seen is it Best Dress that on Netflix? There's like that documentary about like the onset of urban clothing. Where it came from.
Yeah.
It's
What
like
is that called?
Something Best Dressed or
something like that.
But it's a great like, you know, storyline of like how things came to be, and it makes you really respect. Like they came up with their own like category, like people weren't making clothes like that, and FUBU was smart enough to say, okay, people are buying like pants that are 40-inch waistband or 40 waistbands and cinching it so it looks baggy, but they have a 32-inch waist, you know. So they were able to start crafting stuff.
I used to wear my dad's jeans in high school. And
you should have worn your dad's shoes. You'd be ahead of the trend.
Jeans. I swear I did. Like back in the house days, I wore my uncle's jeans. Like he had like a big baggy jeans. It was like, oh, you had the big.
Like Genco style, 20-inch leg opening.
My dad was a 36 waist, and in high school, I was probably in the 20s. Like, I don't know.
So cute.
My uncle was a big chubby dude. I was like, actually maybe 34, so he was like 40-something. I had like the spinders and, you know, he had the stompers on, going to the limelight, whatever.
That's crazy.
I always say too, because there was always like rappers and stuff in the office, like because we would do photo. We had like our photo studio down. We were in South River, and it was like one building, and it would be like everyone was there: accounting, design, photo studio. So like one day, boot camp was there, like all the guys from boot camp, and I just like went to go to the bathroom, and I like came back, and one of the guys from boot camp was like, "Damn, you got a lot going on for a white girl." And I'm like getting sexually harassed on my way to the bathroom, but it all had a sense of like hip hop to it. Like stuff like that would happen, you know, on a daily basis. But it was okay. It was boot camp, so you're like, all right.
Actually, I didn't really get a lot out of my time at Echo, but I did get to meet a lot of rappers. That was tight. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did like a shoot with like DMX, and he like insisted on having his dogs in the ad. He just brought all of his pit bulls to the photo shoot, and like
how many pit bulls?
There was 2, I think, but it was like he just dropped it on us. He was like, "Yo, we got to have the dog in the shoot," and I feel like we had to put his name. Like there was all these like very specific rules. You know, we did like I worked in licensing at Echo for a while, so I worked with the watches, and we did a alarm clock with Flavor Flav. So like we had him record all these like alarms, like "yeah boy," like all this stuff, and then, so we had him go to a recording studio, and like you know he was like doing all this stuff.
So many people went through Echo.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So many people. M was there for a hot second, right?
Cypress Hill back in the day.
Fred Durst.
Yeah, Fred Durst.
I mean, not that anything really came of it, but like Future came through one time with Joel Santana. And then like
Kanye was there once. He was working on something with this guy Kimu. I remember because Kimu had his baby, and he had his baby in the meeting with Kanye, and he's like, I think his baby like barfed or something like that. And it was like his good story. He's like, I barfed. Yeah, a lot of people. Well, G Unit was there.
G Unit was there.
Yeah.
All right. So were you there when the beef with Game started?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't.
Okay.
What year was that?
That's around what 04, 05, around 05, 06.
Yeah, I was there. But I was.
But you didn't feel any residual like takedown from it.
Well, they were in a different. Like we were all in the same building, but they were like in the middle section of it. So I didn't go over there. Like sometimes, like I would go see the salespeople just to like say hi, because like they had he had a recording studio and a gym in the back of the sales room. So like you know sometimes you go and hang out there or whatever. But I didn't get caught up in any of the drama that was like part of G Unit or part of it. You know what I mean? Like it didn't affect me. I wasn't like threatened going to work in the morning or anything. Not by him, at least.
Yeah, I mean that was because I just heard stories about like how you know the West Coast immediately stopped wearing all the G Unit shit because the game wasn't a problem anymore. And then I think that's where the bad blood started.
Oh, okay.
From all that, yeah. Because then later down the line, you know the brand Slow Bucks? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So then, I mean, we talked about this on another podcast, so I'll just skim over it. But basically, like 50 jumped this guy Slow and took his chain, and I think allegedly.
He didn't do it, but
allegedly. But then I think it had something to do with you know the guy that we worked for, right? Because he owns part of Slow Bucks. So there's like multiple ways around it. It's just crazy about all like.
But where's Slow Bucks now?
That's very unclear.
Hey.
Not.
Yeah, you never heard none of that brand nowhere. He's not even doing anything right now.
I mean, they're called Slow Bucks. Maybe they're just selling one T-shirt at a time.
Well, because there's a guy named Slow and there was a guy named Bucks. And there was also a guy named Soup.
Yeah.
Oh, and they were like, "No, man, we're not adding Soup to the company."
No. But Soup was like the guy. He was He was like the main guy. Soup made all the decisions. Slow was just kind of there, and then Bucks was just running around.
It was the powers of 50 Cent. That's what it was.
In his heyday.
In his heyday, exactly.
I didn't get involved in any of that.
Okay.
It would be like the office next door to you. You know what I mean? Like it was like you see those people in the elevator and stuff.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But he would like perform at our holiday parties,
which is so fire.
Stuff like that was funny.
Yeah. When Echo was really going down, the people that were still there that had been there forever, they're like, the holiday parties used to be like this. And I'm like, why are you telling me this?
They were amazing. Yeah.
Like it was my first job too as a New York guy, and I thought when I got here I was like, oh, I made it to a Legacy brand. I made it. And then not knowing that everything's bankrupt.
Yeah.
And only seamless delivery guys wear Echo now.
Well, at the time I was at Supreme, I remember one of the first Echo parties was out in San Diego at the ASR trade show. And they had Farside perform. Okay. And it was just like one of the best parties I've ever been to. So I was like, Echo was the spot. Like, Echo. And they would send me T-shirts. They would send me gear. But Echo, yeah.
Damn.
That's what I remember back in the day. So I know. I can imagine you guys had so much fun.
I mean, I think she had more fun than I did.
I had a lot of fun. There was like a big 4-day music festival in Toronto, and they flew us up there, and it was like Kanye and like Fabulous and all these different people performed there. Like, it was pretty legit. Like, I was excited. When I didn't realize how lucky I had it. And now I look back, I'm like, oh my God, I wish I still had that opportunity, because it was like one of my first jobs. So I started with them when I was like in my early 20s and grew with them. So I didn't know anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if you have a really good boyfriend and then you're like, I hate you. You don't buy me flowers or something. And you break up with them.
And you go out into the world
stupid.
and you're like, oh my God.
You're like, I fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, my holiday parties at the Gap was insane. I mean, we had everyone performing, man. It was crazy, man. I don't even remember, but it was crazy, man. There was a lot of drinks and drugs involved.
Yeah, Nancy from sales was getting lit.
There was a magician.
Word. It was crazy. But
can you imagine a holiday party at the Gap and there's a magician? That's actually fire. It'd probably be one of our friends.
Nah, I mean, it was a lot of it was. I mean, years I worked at the Gap, it was fun. Holiday. I worked at
meet Kanye.
Did I meet? No,
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Nah.
Would Kanye work at?
He was. I mean, Kanye worked at the Gap too. So I mean, I get it. But now, I'll say this. I didn't work, obviously Echo and a lot of these brands that are involved with rappers have some of the best holiday parties. I think some of my favorite parties was when I worked at the NBA store. I worked there, and we used to have a lot of dudes, would come through, from Allen Iverson to Fat Joe to D Wade, and that was cool. So I can only imagine being involved in with the brand like Echo and shit, where they have rappers and the rappers come through all the time and shit. I can imagine it's insane.
Yeah, it was in the heyday too. I mean, it was I'm sure stuff still goes down like that, but you'd have there's stuff I probably can't even talk about on this podcast. Stuff that I saw, but
well, no. All right. So to update the listeners, so Echo is actually still alive somehow, but they're under Iconics. Iconics has. I'm trying to think of. They basically own all the dead brands. All right. I'll try to break it down. So when you guys buy a streetwear brand, it's usually owned by a bigger conglomerate, right? You would say, like in New York, there's Icer, there's Iconics, there's like the Murray Group. There's a bunch of different companies that sort of like financially back these guys once they get to a certain point. Usually, like once they hit Zoomies, is that a good gauge? It's like
J.C. Penney's or something like that.
Yeah.
Like once they're not. Well, I don't know. I think there's some that are still owned by I know that. Like Academics is still owned by the original owners that own them from the beginning. Like the people.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah, like there's there are some that are still with their original companies.
Yeah.
They're a different brand now though, because the times have changed and the dynamic of. I guess I feel like Urban has morphed. The people that wore Urban as a fashion. A trend or whatever, they've morphed into streetwear. You know what I mean? Like they wear different, so a lot of that has been abandoned by the people that have shifted to streetwear. Okay. But yeah, I think who else is there? I mean, Sean John's back out. I don't know if they're.
I think Joe Boxer's over there. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Wait, Lawrence, can you cover me? Because there's so many dead brands into this one.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, ask away back.
Okay, could you tell me what kind of things you design now, and maybe a little bit about your aesthetic and how you developed it over time?
Well, okay, so you're gonna love this. Because I actually started out as a Deadhead, and I used to make dresses on Grateful Dead tour. and I went to college for liberal arts, and I dropped out and I just went on Grateful Dead tour. And so when I got home after a year, I was like, "Hey mom, hey dad, I'm back." And they were like, "Well, she really likes sewing." And so they took me to school and I was like, "Oh my God, I can learn how to sew and do it for a living." So I actually got into it from liking the hand, making things from hand rather than looking at runway shows and stuff like that. That comes later. So I think I've always liked that part of it. If I can touch it and see it, which unfortunately the industry's made overseas. So, you don't really get to do that a lot. But that's why I was excited about that sustainable thing. I was almost part of the sustainable movement in fashion, and it's I don't know, it gets boring, but my inspiration always comes from the handcrafting of stuff, and the hunting and gathering of things that inspire me, from like images to samples. But I've designed everything, like kids, men's, women's. I designed the Jets cheerleading uniforms. Like I have like a really random.
Wait, what? The Jets cheerleading uniforms?
Yeah, the
That
Jets.
got your attention.
They're the flight crew. So I did like.
Well, that's just an obscure job to have gotten.
That's what I mean. Like I've done so much random stuff. I worked at this place called Sin that was like a bondage and leather place. I've done it all.
Oh, so you've designed a flogger.
Well, this is my, I didn't do the flogger. There was a guy who made leather at the table next to me, and he would make all those things and like put the ball in his mouth, and I'd be like, oh my God, people really use this stuff. Cause I was like 20. Yeah, I was so naive when I was there, and I would sew all the latex costumes. I'd be in the back, and like I was just observing this lifestyle that I didn't know anything about, and like it was part of the guy who owned it. He had a bondage and leather shop downstairs, and then we made stuff upstairs, and then there was also a dungeon. It was this big warehouse, so parts of it were like dungeons. So sometimes I'd have to go to the back to like give him stuff for approvals, and I'd be so scared because I'd have to go in the back, and I was like, I'm in a dungeon. Like I was just so young and naive. Not scared, but I was like, what if I knock on the wrong door? You know, you normally just get to walk.
Did they have parties back there too?
Yeah, they would have Seattle. This was in the 90s. Seattle was very like there was a lot of like that whole Christian Grey thing. It's perfect that they have it in Seattle. It makes sense because there's a very dark underground that people into industrial music and bondage and leather, and there's like a counterculture there. I mean, it's dark and rainy all the time. It totally makes sense. But yeah, he would have like they would have big parties. I mean, I didn't go. It wasn't my thing, but it was interesting to be like dropped into this
world.
Yeah, and like I was just sewing, but I'd be like, what?
Wait, just to circle back real quick. They own a lot of Dead brands. Well, I mean, Dead's relative, but
this is Iconics.
Yeah, it's Iconics. So they have Echo, Ed Hardy, which Jesus Christ, that's a throwback. Yeah, Joe Boxer, Mark Echo Cut and Sew, Mud, Zoo York. Wait, why is it? Oh, okay. Starter. They have Starter. They have Starter, Black Label, and they have Umbro.
And Rockaway, too.
Yeah, and Rockaway. And Pony.
Pony is making a big comeback right now.
Yeah, they got Joey Badass as like a good brand ambassador.
My friend he was so excited. He copped a pair of these Pony. They were like low profile with just like the stripe on the back. He's like, they're $20. They're so awesome. And he wore them, and they tore up his feet so bad. He was like, I got the shoes for $20 and I spent $80 on like supplies to fix the back of my foot.
That's funny.
They're not comfortable, according to him.
I haven't had a pair of ponies on my feet in forever.
Me neither. I don't think I've ever had a pair of ponies.
I mean, I like how low profile their design is.
The skateboarding, just the skating, like they're like the cheap, like $20 canvas. The round toe, they look like the fucking things I got on the Adidas got on now. But anywho,
Child, I want to ask you a question because you said you started skating in the Bronx in the 90s.
Correct.
And that's
actually a little bit earlier.
A little bit earlier than that. Correct. What was the skate culture like in the Bronx?
Well, we had Team Zoo, and that's before Zoo York. I don't even know, but it was like the truth. And it was just like what we had 116 Banks right on Intervale, right off of Intervale Avenue.
Okay,
and that's how I learned how to skate Banks and learned how to skate Trend. You know, it was like all flatland, rails, stairs.
Now, when you say skate Trend, does that mean you wear a dress when you do it?
Skate transition. Skate transition.
Okay.
Skate ramps, basically. Yeah, it was hard because back in the days it was a hood. And where I was at, it was like I had to fight pretty much a lot, That's
what I was gonna say. Like, the connotation, and I'm gonna say of a skateboarder is not a black male.
It wasn't. Like I got teased. There
you go. I was gonna ask you.
I got chased, dude. I had to fight a lot.
I was gonna ask you that. Okay.
What area of the Bronx was this again? I forget if you said it.
Hunts Point area, Prospect Avenue.
Okay.
South Bronx.
Okay.
Like literally where Beach Street was filmed, that whole area, I was there pretty much. TAT, TAT crew, the task crew.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, I'm from that neighborhood.
Okay.
Because you would see, so for example, like a guy like I remember like the mid 2000s, like Lil Wayne was all like skateboard out, and you had Skateboard P, Pharrell, and all these people who made it mainstream, but like you really don't,
To be honest, I can't lie. I was the first black kid in my neighborhood skateboarding.
Okay.
There you go. Like And it was the Moreno, like, I was the only Moreno skateboarding. You know what I mean? Spanish. And I guess I got teased. I had to fight the drug dealers. I had to fight the Spanish kids who thought I was soft. I had to fight everybody. Everybody thought, oh yeah, I thought I was to be white. And it wasn't only be white. I was different. And this is what I like to do. I played basketball. I played football, soccer. I had a scholarship, whatever, dude. But skateboarding, I found that my thing, and there was no coach. There was no team. It was just me by myself. And it was the shit to do.
Yeah, because you see, now I see everyone, black kids, white kids, man, everyone.
It's dominated by minorities now.
There you go,
much, dude.
So when so in the Lance Mountain,
in the city, in the city, yeah.
So when you're talking like late '80s, early '90s, it's like you said, you were like almost Tiger Woods and Serena and Venus Williams in the situation, in the hood.
Tiger Woods, y'all.
Because like I said, I was from the streets, dude. I did it, done it. You know what I mean? I've been there, did it, done it. But I did my little 18 months, came home, and it was like I want something different, dude. And my father was living in the village. Went down to Washington Square Park. So the guy skating. I met John Grigley, which is my idol and still this idol to this day. And he curses me out every time I say it. But I met him. I met Spencer, and I met this guy named Ian. And those guys turned my life around. Then I started hanging out there every day, and I met Loki, then Jamal Simmons, and I met like the Shut team. And
these are big skaters in New York.
Skaters at the time, like Eli, Bruno. Oh man, there's so many names I can name, but those guys just took it to the next level, and
because they were like pioneers of a genre that no one knew.
Of course,
they were the pioneers for skateboarding in New York City. And yeah, I mean, for me being from the Bronx, it was just like something different, and
I wanted to ask you another question, since because a lot of once again, now you have all these sneakers designed for skateboarders, whether like I remember when I was wearing Supras, and like Nike has a skateboarding design team. They have
SB,
Nike SB, yeah. So when you first started skating, what were you wearing on your feet? What were some of the things you would wear?
I think my first skateboard sneaker was Converse, because I wanted to be like Nadas Capaz.
Okay.
He was my favorite skateboarder, and he wore Converse, high top. But then from there, it went on to Vans, you know what I mean? Because the cool kids in the videos and Vans.
Flyers is in there too,
Flyers,
right?
Yeah. Not really Flyers out here in New York City.
Okay.
But then Airwalk came out. Airwalks? I'm sorry. Airwalk was a big sneaker company at the time, and we when we first opened up Supreme, we had a major deal with Airwalk, and Airwalk was like big. At the time.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, then you had,
because they were not cool when I was in high school.
They were hot. Like at the time, they were like they were big, but they were fading out, but they had some styles.
Okay.
Then we dropped them, and we were dealing with Etnies, and they pretty much took over the scene. And Nike wasn't really on the scene at that time.
Of course.
Nike was not even on the scene. It was just all about
because Nike tried.
Fans. They tried.
I forget what year, but they tried and did not go well. And then when they revamped the program and made SBs, that's when it popped.
But like you had so many skaters skateboarding for Etnies at the time. You had Sal Barbier, which was a really hot sneaker at the time. It was like an all suede, and it came out various colors like burgundy, sky blue, colors that people would never.
Damn, now you're bringing me back, bro. I'm thinking of like DVS.
With the 23 on the back.
I'm thinking of like
Sal Barbier's with the 23 on the back, dude. Like they were the hottest sneaker. Everybody had that. Then you had DCs come out of nowhere and just blew everybody out.
Yeah.
And that was it.
I want to actually, I do want to, because this is fucking amazing to me. You mentioned earlier that you were one of the, you worked at Supreme, and you said it was like it was almost like a give back.
It was like, yeah, pretty much. It was a boutique gift bag. Like it was like a dope shop where you can go chill. But my feedback, what I wanted to do was to get back for the kids to the hood. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I'm from the hood. We skate our boys down to the tail where you had no tail to pop. You know what I mean? So like, kid come to me, ask me for a deck, I give it to him, no problem. They couldn't afford a $40 deck. So it was just like, if you had like a throwback board, somebody skated. Like we have pros come in every day. Yo, they skate a board for the day. Here, chap, I don't want to skate it because it's not new. You know what I mean? So I give it to another kid coming in. You can't afford a board. Yo, chap, I need a deck. I got $10, $20 here.
Okay, so now this is my next question to you, because like you said, you see how it started out as something very small, and now you see where, and once again, you could see something like Supreme, where there's a soccer mom can come in, she'll come in there. And and obviously the rep of a store like Supreme has always been like, in the beginning it was like skaters and like hardcore dudes, and then
don't get me wrong, it was that place where a soccer mom can come as well, but it became hood because the kids that were involved that came to the shop were hood from the hood, so it just became that, and it became that.
So, what are your thoughts now? And once again, like in terms of how something as simple as Supreme selling, they could sell a brick, literally a brick for $40, and that shit'll sell out in 3.2 seconds. Cause I tried and missed out, and then it can.
Lawrence is our official Supreme correspondent.
No, because I think this is amazing. Like, because I look at like it's you see damn near everyone. You could go on the train and see a black dude wearing a Supreme hat, and then you could see a white chick who's like 5'1", wearing a Supreme t-shirt, and it's just how it evolved. And
it crosses over.
It crosses over in so many, where you see like there's certain brands that that you see that in.
I think it was, honestly, I know you're going. I think it's the foundation of that red bar, dude. Just at the time when it came out, nobody was doing it. No, it just came out of nowhere, and it made a stamp.
Shout out to Barbara Kruger.
And it made a trademark, dude. Like it just you knew what that stamp meant. You knew what that bar meant, and it meant so much to everybody at the time, because the team that we had, the kids that we had skateboarding, they went out and promoted, man. I mean, we promoted that thing to the heart, and everybody loved it because it was just Supreme, the spot you come and chill, dude. Like,
yeah,
it was a chill spot.
Now I'll say this, and from my knowledge,
know that, like, a lot of people don't know that as well. Like, we had our own chill spot. You know what I mean? It was like our chill spot.
Wait, when was the first time you heard of Supreme?
It was probably like 2002. I think it was like early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
Yeah, because. But I was friends with the the culture of it. So
Yeah.
But I didn't realize, like, when I went there, I just was like, oh, it's a cool skate shop. The guys who work here are kind of assholes. Like, I didn't realize that when I went there for the first time, it was just more like a place to see cute boys.
But see, when I was there, we wasn't assholes. Okay, we was not assholes. We just can't be real. We was not assholes.
You guys could be assholes sometimes.
Okay, so that's what, and Chop, that's what I was getting at.
I was never an asshole.
Because you said Chop, you said it was a cool, chill vibe, and
honestly, when I left, that's when I heard
they were mostly cool and chill.
For the most part, I mean,
I can't say that. I'm not going to speak on nobody, but when I was there, dude, like, we had a good time. It was me, Pookie, Matt McGrath, and Gio. You know what I mean? Like, we had it down. Like, there was a couple of assholes in the clique. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think it was when it started to get cool, and then there was like some of the dudes had arrogance.
But there were egos.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
and
saying?
you're like,
dudes started to get egos, and it was just like, I never had an ego, dude. Like, I still gay. You know what I mean? But other cats started to get egos, and that's what happened, dude. And that's what happened, And
I think
I don't want to speak on or speak for, but
yeah.
I think, especially in New York City, when you have a shop that it becomes big, and I can definitely attest this to like Flight Club, for example.
Fat Farm back in the days.
Okay,
as well.
So when you have like
that.
Flight Club, like Flight Club is it started out when it was on Green Street, and you have it was a very small, and I remember selling sneakers at Flight Club, and when it first started, the guys for the most part were chill. And then when it starts expanding, and then people start coming in, and then now there's so many people coming to Flight Club, and they're like,
"Fuck, stuck up for their sneakers."
Now the employees have this air of arrogance, where it's like, you fucking need me to make you feel good about yourself,
to make you fly.
There you go. So now, whether it's something as simple as dealing with the guy, because there's a guy that works at Flight Club that I can remember, and this is 2000. We're 2018. I remember 2005. I wanted to punch him in his mouth. I hated him, and I see him now. He's still there, and now he's super chill. But when I remember, there was that vibe of like,
you need me.
Yeah, man.
And a lot of people say that about the workers at Supreme. And a lot of these boutiques in New York City, it's not just Supreme, Flight Club. I mean, it could be something as simple as A-Life, or are you going to, I don't know. Chris, you could name a store.
Where would the workers suck?
Yeah, I mean, you can go to.
You go to Kith right now, and they kind of snub you. You know what I mean? They got their nose in the air.
But I have to say, like, I think it's just like it helps build the mystique.
There you go.
And it's like I go into Hale and Hearty soup sometimes, and I just want a soup. And they're always like, "Do you want to get the sandwich with that?" And the other day I told the guy, I was like, "If I wanted a sandwich, I would ask." And you ask me every day, and I know they tell you to say it.
Yeah.
But every time you say it, it makes me want to come here less. You know what I mean? Like I was like, "You're forcing the sandwich down my throat." You're like the equivalent of like guys spraying perfume when you walk through Macy's, and you're just like, "Get away from me." Yeah. So like I feel like too much customer service can be kind of fake anyway. So I kind of went with the vibe. You know, you're like, I don't know, you kind of want to be treated like a dick a little bit so that you.
21 Mercer was also, I can say.
Oh, yeah, 21 Mercer was great.
Great for asshole customer service.
Yeah. Nah, they sucked ass.
I mean, now that I think about it, I a couple of times I was.
All right.
The shirt's on the fucking rack right there. Please, you see the folded shirt? Don't touch the folded shirt.
Chav is making it seem like he was like, "How you doing, sir? Here's a deck for you.
Yeah.
And here's a
He's like
t-shirt
the
for
Mother
you."
Teresa of Supreme.
I think I was the first asshole, but I didn't stress shit like that. But
Nah, it's
all good. It's all good. Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna say this, and I've worked in retail, and I think a lot of times when you get the same questions and you get the same, hey, is this, or I want this. After a while, you get beat down, man. When I worked at the NBA store, man, I worked there in the era when fucking jerseys were insane.
Wow.
And 2003 and 2, and I was working
2X, 3X.
Oh, I still to this day have 3, 4X jerseys that I will never wear again. But it becomes, you as an employee, you get sometimes frustrated.
Yeah.
You get frustrated. Like the same questions for 7-8 hours of the day.
You like snap, like, what the fuck?
Stop asking me this fucking question. The jerseys is there. Whatever's there is there. Just leave me the fuck alone.
Listen, it comes to the point where, like, you should know this already.
There you go.
Like, you should know this. Like, you come to the store, you should know this.
There you go.
And that's where the attitude comes in. And that's what people get the, like Supreme, I can understand that. Like, you should know this already because this is Supreme, and you know what Supreme is about. So you should know.
You should know, yeah.
The answer. You should know the price. You should know this.
And when you're working retail and footwear, it's like the only retail job where it's cool to yell at the guy working there. Like, yo, can I get 9? Maybe 9.5, 2. Quick, hurry up, motherfucker. It's like,
But it definitely is when you work at a hot spot. I think that it's arrogance, but it's also annoyance. I think a lot of employees get it's like, fuck.
Because people probably don't buy a lot of shit either. They go in, they're like, it's on my list of places to go.
Like
there you
one
go.
T-shirt, like,
I saw this on Refinery.
There you go.
Let me get a chain, like a little keychain. Yeah. It's like, it's true.
All right. No, I was just like, I'm thinking like, what are we at right now, Beck?
Kanye.
We're at an hour and a half.
are we? Great. Let me see. You know what's crazy is that all this crazy shit that was going on at Echo, and there was only one HR chick.
Yeah.
One.
Well, can we just put it out there? HR, it's bullshit, okay? Because the people that pay HR's checks is the company. So I've used HR in the past. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
You hear stories about people, like even the Nike thing. You hear stories of people that use HR, like the female promotional thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
Oh wait, tell that story because that's actually kind of funny. So I had something on the docket where I was gonna, if it came up casually, like because Nike has they made some promotions internally, and it was women that got hired positions, jobs, which I guess is sort of newsworthy. I guess it shouldn't be because everyone should be treated equal, right? But for some reason, people like Complex and Hypebeast are like, look, Nike's hiring women.
Yeah.
So if that came up, that was the point of the thing. But so I sent you that as a
talking point.
Yeah.
I asked him to send me some talking points so I could think about stuff. So I went through most of the talking points were about new shoe drops, you know? So I got to the part that you wrote Nike female promotion. So I hit up a friend of mine who's like higher up in Nike, and I was like, yo, I wanted to talk to you about the Nike female promotion. Like, is there anything you're excited about? And then And he was like, I don't know if I can talk about that. And I was like, well, I mean, it can be stuff that's already out. Like, it doesn't have to be stuff that's like no one knows about yet. And he was like, have you read the article? And like the whole time I thought it was about new women's product that was dropping.
Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah. But when I read it, I mean, it's kind of, it's a Me Too movement.
She was sorry too. She was like typing away.
I'm glad I was a good friend because I could have gotten awkward real fast.
That's funny.
That's funny.
It's really funny.
But, yeah, HR's BS is all I'm saying. They're like the guidance counselors of companies. Like you can't really there is a buffer so the VP or the president don't have to talk to you.
Yes.
You know, and they just tell you some jargon like, oh, we got an open door policy. It's bullshit. If you're listening to me, don't ever go to HR. They're great at health insurance and all that stuff. And if someone really, really hurts you, sure. But I would just go to the police. Like HR is like, it's just, it's BS.
Yeah,
because they don't want to write you a letter to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, thank you."
Yeah,
that's so funny. Okay, well, trying to think if there's anything else on here that we can get anything out of. And most of these other points are about new shoes, and I don't think.
I love that band.
Babe came out with another Dragon Ball thing. I don't know when Dragon Ball Z got cool. Did you watch Dragon Ball Z at all?
You know what? I'm a late Dragon Ball fan and Dragon Ball Z fan. I was into it, but I wasn't. But I love it now. I like it.
Okay.
But the Babe Dragon Ball Z, that's over my head, dog. Like,
okay.
You gotta school me.
No, just for some reason. So I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, and then somehow like anime entered the streetwear space, and I just don't know when it happened or how.
Well, it's probably the Japanese Babe being Japanese. It seems effortless.
But I remember back in the days when we had what's that company Zero? Not Zero. There was a company that used a lot of the animation. I'm sorry, I have a bad habit.
You're a piano player.
Yeah, beats. I do beats, whatever. Yeah, but it was a big company back in the days, and they used to do a lot of animation. Jeremy Klein. You remember Jerry Klein?
Yeah.
He used to do a company, what was it? Hookups.
Okay. This is coming back to me now.
Hookups. They used to do a lot of the Dragon Ball, the Kira stuff. So I don't know if that's like...
And actually, Supreme was on the train early with Akira.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Supreme and Akira, yeah. They had
what year was that? Do you know?
I don't know. But
haven't been down. I don't...
It's kind of old. It's not old, but it's old, right?
Nah, it's it's old. And they just dropped Supreme Akira like I think this year or last year or some shit like that too.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with that, but
yeah, it's been so weird to me. Yeah, it's fire.
I don't give a fuck.
Yo, the new video game is sick.
I fucked with Dragon Ball Z. Seriously, I fucked with that.
I don't know nothing about.
Me neither. I'm out the loop.
No, the animation, the movies, dope.
Yeah, it's fire.
So dope.
Okay. Well, I think that's it. You guys have anything you want to plug? Throw it out there. Mention anything. You got any shows coming up?
I have a weekly show at the Sensei Gallery Bar, but we've been closed for renovation. So
okay. Yeah, because I walked by there the other day, and it seemed like they were redoing the whole inside.
Yeah, it's like it started with like a flood, and then in the basement, like a plumbing issue, and then they were fixing that, and I think they're just taking the time to do other stuff. So as soon as it reopens, I got a weekly show there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What time usually is it at?
Every Sunday, 8:00. Okay. And I have a Twitter handle, so you can follow me, and I'll start posting. It's a Sensei Gallery Bar NYC, I think, for the show. So I'll start posting about the show.
Nice.
And you can follow me on Instagram at the Beast Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like Beast at Mark of the Beast, but a little nicer.
Right. Yes. A little feminine touch to it.
Yeah.
You got anything you want to plug? Anything you want to say to the audience before we get out of here?
Sensei Bar. Hopefully, when they open up, I got Friday nights. I'm resident DJ at Sensei Bar, and we have Enemy Skateboard company line going on right now. We started off Empire, but we just changed the name, and we're doing well. And we want to plug that. Thank you for the love.
Yeah, man, we're happy you guys here. Becky, you got anything coming up you want to tell everybody?
No, I'm taking a week off. I'm going to Cuba. So if you want to see some pictures from Cuba, you can follow me at Human Places, the Easy 3.
That's amazing. Awesome. Have fun.
That's going to be awesome.
Human Places with a 3 as the E. That's where you can follow Becky on social media. I'm gonna get you on The Good, the Dad, and the Ugly.
Really? I'm a huge fan. I think I'll just be giggling and nerding out.
Really?
I mean, I'd love to talk to them, sure.
Casey, James Salango, Patrick Schroeder, and Will Winter have a podcast where they just interview a girl.
Yeah, I just read about it. He posted on Facebook.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna because I even DM'd him. I was just like, "You're having Becky."
You guys, all the listeners should definitely check out their podcast too. It's hilarious.
No, it's great. Lawrence, what about you? Got anything coming up?
Yeah, I got a couple shows. You can go on my website, lawrencedeloach.com.
Oh, you're actually updating it now?
Yeah, I'm updating it.
Nice.
And, yeah, and you can check out my Instagram.
I just want to give a big shout out and thank you to Malia Sias too for inviting me because she asked me to come with her, and
we were
thank
just
you
going
guys,
to
Chris
karaoke.
and Lawrence, because you guys let me come through. I mean,
yeah, no, of course.
I
man.
wasn't even know. Like I just going to hang out with her, and she was like, "Yo, we got to go to a podcast." I was like,
Yeah,
"What?"
podcast, baby.
I've never done a podcast. This is like dope.
Nah,
It was like totally dope.
You're fucking awesome, man.
Thank
And
you guys.
It's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I think we.
What about you, Chris? Do you have anything you want to plug?
The only thing that I would tell people to go to is May 19th. I'm on the Dope Show, which is up on Dykeman.
Down the bro.
Yes.
Dykeman.
After that, I'm going to try and pick up some Spanish women, and it's not going to go well.
Nice.
Every time I go up there, I'm like, I get hyped because I'm like, yes, there's all these Dominicans out here, and I'm gonna be trying. And then no, they like white boy.
No
you-
mas.
Yeah, you
No
good.
mas.
We
Wear your
good.
new shoes.
Yeah, that's when I'm gonna get more looks from the guys than the girls. Yeah, the wrong attention will be given. But I think that's it. Sub podcast. Remember to be Happy Studios. For everybody wondering what Supreme hat Lawrence wore, is the perforated 3M joint. He's got like 50 of these.
I got a lot. I got too many.
Remember to be Happy Studios. You already know what it is. Thank you guys, and give us a review on iTunes, 5 stars. Ask Lawrence which Supreme hat he's wearing today. Ask Becky how her day's going. Ask me. I'm bombing now. I'm losing it.
Nah, you good, man.
Ask me what hat Lawrence is wearing if he's not answering. I'll just take a guess. And I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Great episode, y'all.
Good job.
Cheers. Thank you.
That was fun.
Sub podcast was recorded at Remember to be Happy Studios.
Like what you heard? Leave us a review on iTunes. Tell us what your favorite sneaker silhouette is, and we'll tell you why you're wrong.